We heard from billionaire investor Ron Baron early this morning, and he has a message. He wrote an email to Joe and I in which he writes, "This is a huge once-in-a-generation buying opportunity, huge, monstrous opportunity following June 2022, June 2020 as well crash." He told us about how he was talking to his sons who've been in the investment business for about 20 years now, and he suggests that they now have the same opportunity he had when he founded Baron Capital back on March 16th of 1982. That's when the Dow Jones Industrial Average was at 880. Yes, we're crying today about it falling below 30,000 for the first time since January of 2021.
In this video, multi-billionaire investor Ron Baron, who owns a big chunk of Tesla and SpaceX, is screaming from the rooftops, warning investors that this is a once-in-a-generation buying opportunity. In his own words, this is a huge, monstrous opportunity. Now, where have we heard that before? Bargain of the fucking century in 2032. This is gonna look cheap. Yeah, I don't know either. This is a very original thought from Ron Baron, so let's get into the video. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, there's a bunch of ways you can support the channel, access exclusive content and perks. Check out the links in the pinned comment below. If you want to take it to the next level, join thousands of members on Patreon to gain exclusive access to over 100 Q&A videos, loads of exclusive content, exclusive access to my up-to-date 10-year Tesla stock price targets, and even access my Tesla valuation model at the investor support level and above. You can also pick up some Tesla, Elon, and investment themed merch in the merch store, so check out the links in the pinned comment below, and thanks for your support. First, Tesla stock today up almost 2%, closing just over $650 per share. I know I've said it 4 trillion times in the last 12 or so months, but seriously, bargain of the fucking century in my opinion. In 2032, this is going to look like an absolute joke. Tesla's market cap, as I record this, less than $700 billion. For the 20 quadrillionth time, don't say I didn't warn you. And per the theme of today's video, don't say Ron Baron also didn't warn you. More on that in just a moment. Today, the NASDAQ 100 up 1.25%, Apple stock up just over 1%, Alphabet stock 1%, Amazon stock up almost 2.5%, and ARK, the flagship ARK ETF, up almost 5%. I quickly want to revisit Tesla stock here just to again reiterate, year to date, Tesla stock's down in my life. Oh, I can't even say this with a straight face. Year to date, okay? Year to date. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this. Year to date, Tesla stock's down almost 50%. Me. Over the last 12 months, Tesla stock up a piddly 4.33%. That's despite the execution, the increasing margins, the massive expansion, the severe lack of competition. I could keep going on and on and on and on. I mean, seriously, one more time. In the last 12 months, Tesla stock up a mere 4.33%. It's been a bumpy ride, don't get me wrong. We've had peaks of well over $1,200 multiple times, and then massive drawdowns. To give some context, from Tesla's peak closing price, 4th of November 2021, till close on the 17th of June 2022, the stock's down about 50% from that peak. The question I would ask everyone watching, does this make sense given what we've actually seen Tesla do over the past 12 months? Spoiler alert, no. This doesn't make sense. In fact, this is the complete opposite of making sense. It's bizarre. It's insane. And I personally believe that this disconnect won't last. I want to be clear, over the short and medium term, I've got no idea what the fuck the stock market's going to do. We've seen this before, remember. Tesla stock from the period of around 2014 until 2019 did nothing. Literally nothing, less than nothing, was down. How's this for an insight? Between the 7th of March 2014 and the 31st of May 2019, more than 5 years, more than half a decade, you could literally buy Tesla stock 25% off its price 5 years earlier. Did this make sense? No, but it happened. Guess what? Same situation. I mean, I just can't stop beating the drum on this. I know it's getting repetitive, but if it's true, if it's important, I'm going to keep saying it. So one more time, this does not make any fucking sense. Don't say I didn't warn you. Of course, I'm just some idiot on YouTube who doesn't know anything about anything, so let's hand it over to Ron Baron, a man with multiple decades of experience and multiple billions of dollars to show he knows what the fuck he's doing. When somebody as credible as Ron has something to say, it's worth listening, so let's do exactly that. Now, the first question we should ask, is Ron Baron credible when it comes to his comments about opportunities when the market is absolutely shitting its pants and has reached approximately peak fear? Well, here's one I prepared earlier. You know the thing that happened earlier in 2020? Well, Here's Ron Baron in early June 2020, approximately the same point in time where stocks were down 40 to 50%. People were freaking the fuck out, thinking the world was over and calling me insensitive for pointing out A, the world's not over, and B, gigantic opportunity. Some of the old YouTube comments from that time period are absolutely fucking hilarious. While people were hell-bent on being outraged and offended, people whose brains function and emotions were in check were picking up some of the best bargains of all time. What did Ron have to say in June 2020 when Tesla stock was around $180 per share?
When I have something like a Tesla, I told you a long time ago that I thought that we would make 20 times our money in Tesla. So far, we've made 4 times. I now think we're going to make double or triple again over the next 5 years.
Oh, hi, it's me from the future. This went to air 9th of June 2020. Where was Tesla stock at that point in time? After all, Ron did just make a pretty clear and concise prediction, a 2 to 3x within the next 5 years. This piece went to air in early June. Let's see what's happened to Tesla stock since. Fancy fucking that. Up 267%. This was obviously just a lucky guess from Ron, right? Right.
And double or triple again over the next 5 years. I think there's 10 times more to go in Tesla before I have to even think about this, if we're right. And SpaceX. So we've just been investing. SpaceX is a private company. We've invested 180, we invested 130 million, I think, 125, 130. It's now worth about 180. I think we're going to make 20 times in SpaceX, over the next 10 years. That is an amazing opportunity as well.
So now let's move on to Ron's most recent comments. 2 years later, massive panic, peak fear, uncertainty, many stocks, including Tesla, down about 50%. Let's see Ron's latest lucky guess.
We heard from billionaire investor Ron Baron early this morning, and he has a message. He wrote an email to Joe and I in which he writes, this is a huge once-in-a-generation buying opportunity. Huge, monstrous opportunity.
So let's just take a quick moment here. This is a, quote, once-in-a-generation opportunity. A huge, monstrous buying opportunity. When comments like these come from a multi-billionaire investor with a multi-decade track record who's also successfully predicted what would happen last time the market was shitting its pants, it is worth paying attention.
Following June 2022, June 2020 as well crash, he told us about how he was talking to his sons who've been in the investment business for about 20 years now, and he suggests that they now have the same opportunity he had when he founded Baron Capital back on March 16th of 1982. That's when the Dow Jones Industrial Average was at 880. Yes, we're crying today about it falling below 30,000 for the first time since January of 2021. But yes, back then it was 880.
And it had
been no progress in market.
16 years. In 1969, it hit 1,000 for the first time. And it wasn't until 1982 that it hit 1,000 again, or 83. And kind of interesting, some of the same reasons why. And the scariest thing was like 1974, when stocks were all single digits. The Nifty 50 had fallen to single digits. And you keep going. He points out over the last 22 years, we've doubled. Do the rule of 72, and that's what is that? That's a paltry return.
Far less than the...
He said, Baron says that he sees the opportunity now, especially because of his investment in what he calls incredible growth companies like Tesla and SpaceX. But he points out that think of what's happened in the past 22 years. If you want to start with the iPhone, start with sequencing the human genome and rational drug design and all the things that have happened and all these quantum leaps and Amazon lowering the cost and the transparency of pricing on the internet and Walmart and all these incredible things have happened. What we've doubled in 22 years. So his point is the market could be spring-loaded if you have a long-term perspective.
So with a longer-term investment horizon, something many other folks in the mainstream finance media aren't super familiar with, the market could be, quote, spring-loaded. Interesting analogy. I feel like I've heard that before, or words to that effect. Oh, okay. Sorry guys, my producer's just in my ear. Apparently we're going to a clip from some woman, the Gilf of Wall Street. Not sure what that means, from April 2019. Roll the clip.
We're 7 years later. Now let me take your other point. This trading around, this trading range, you as a trader and investor, but as a trader also, understand that when you build a base like that, one of two things is going to happen. It's either going to break down, and that's what a lot of the bears have been betting on, and they've been throwing everything at it, or it's going to break out. Clearly, we believe is going to break out. And the longer the base, you say 5 years, the longer the base, the bigger the breakout. So we're really looking forward to that.
For those unaware, Cathie Wood was directly referring to Tesla stock here, and when she's talking about the bigger the base, you know that whole flat period where Tesla stock did less than nothing for half a decade? Bigger the base, aka half a decade, bigger the breakout, and sure enough, Tesla stock certainly did break the f*** out. And you might even say that Tesla stock itself was spring-loaded, but that's obviously no longer the case with Tesla stock because as you can see over the past 12 months, Tesla stock has rocketed up 433%. Oh, that says 4.33%.
And as I said, we're certainly not cheerleading because most people think that we have a way to go.
Right. This is not saying that if you put this money in,
right.
It's going to come back and quickly make returns. This is about looking at things over a very long perspective. And that long haul, if you have the patience, if you are taking money that you're not leveraging, the money that you don't need to pay your bills today, right. That's important to find some of that cash and set it aside. And that's how you have the time horizon to actually watch compound interest build up.
I mean, we have highlighted the risks that still are present for this market with Katie Stockton and the VIX. Crappy VIX is still only 30. Even after yesterday, I think it's at 32. And people think you need 40 before you make a real bottom. So we're not taking either side, but long
term. It's not going to be if you're day trading. That's not what this is about. This is being a long-term investor.
Isn't it funny to hear the folks on CNBC wrapping their heads around long-term investing and differentiating that from day trading, which is what 99.9% of their content, comments, advice, and interviews are centered around?
Realizing that if it's sitting in cash, sitting in a bank account where you're not getting returns, you are losing value. And this is something that Ron Baron's been very consistent on over the years, just the idea that you can't let your money sit in cash. It gets, your spending power dwindles away.
Damn right. As they say, cash is trash. I'd love to know, so please let me know in the comments below. As you're watching this video, what percent of your net assets are currently held in cash? For me, it's about 0.2%. That's 0.2%, not 2%, not 20%, 0.2%. And the only reason I have that much cash is because I have credit cards that needs to pay itself off and occasional bills. Otherwise, I'd literally have 0.00% in cash. By the way, this isn't a recommendation for other people. Over time, as my net assets have increased in value, I don't need to keep as much cash available because in real terms, it's still meaningful. Actions speak louder than words, and per my 0.2% cash holdings, I absolutely agree. Keeping your money in cash, assuming you're not a moron and don't have a history of losing all your money investing in dumb stuff because you're an idiot, keeping a meaningful percentage of your net assets in cash to me just screams, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm too scared to invest, and therefore I'd rather just watch my money erode in a bank account than actually do something with it. Sometimes the biggest risk of all is doing nothing. I think the only reasonable excuse for anyone having a large percentage of their net assets in cash is if they're still learning about investing and they're not yet ready to actually make some investments. But in most cases, usually the reason people have a large cash balance is because they don't have confidence in their investing, and this is an excuse. Oh, I'm just waiting for an opportunity. I just want to have that there in case there's a crash, and then the market crashes, and what do? Oh, it's not the bottom. I'm scared. I'm just going to wait for the bottom. And then what happens? The market rebounds. Oh, I'm not sure it's a fake out. It's going to come. Oh, wait. Oh, it's up 35%. Did it bottom? I don't know. We're going to buy now. Next minute, they missed most of the opportunity. Meanwhile, someone who instead was just consistently investing the entire time, dollar cost averaging, you might call it, buying as it was going down, buying as it was coming up, ends up much further ahead on average.
Well, if you were a young Ron Baron right now, and if it went from 880 to 30,000, figure out where we are now at 20,000, 29,000. I mean, the number would be up in the hundreds of thousands, theoretically, if it really is the same type of opportunity.
So the question to ask, is it possible that Ron Baron may be right? Could this be a once-in-a-generation buying opportunity? A huge, monstrous buying opportunity for intelligent, aka long-term investors? Personally, I would argue yes. This is why I continue to pour every spare cent into Tesla stock. And I'm not saying Tesla's the only opportunity out there, but based on my tiny brain and what I understand about the world and the opportunities out there, I cannot yet identify a better risk-adjusted opportunity in the stock market. One more time, as I record this today, June 2022, Tesla's market cap is under $700 billion. Spring-loaded, indeed. What do you guys think? Is this a great opportunity? Will long-term investors look back and go, man, the stock market panic in mid-2022 didn't make a lot of sense and presented a brilliant buying opportunity? Or, as many in the mainstream media would have you believe, is this finally the end of the world? The end of consistent long-term returns, world GDP growth, technological innovation? Have we finally reached the end of the road? Is this the time to have a mountain of cash? Is this the time to panic like the mainstream media is telling you? Dump everything and just keep your money in cash to stay nice and safe until the market stops crashing? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Meanwhile, I'm going to keep buying Tesla stock with every spare cent and then some. Lastly, don't forget to join Patreon with the card in the corner or the link at the pinned comment. Just a quick heads up, submissions are just about to close for the latest exclusive Q&A, so get your questions in now. And if you're not already on Patreon, don't forget, participating in these exclusive Q&As are one of the many perks over on Patreon. There's an archive of well over 100 exclusive Q&A videos, dozens of other exclusive pieces of content, loads of perks, including up-to-date access to my Tesla stock price targets out over the next 10 years. So, what are you waiting for? I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, there's a bunch of ways you can support the channel, access exclusive content and perks, and get some free stocks and crypto. Check out the links in the pinned comment below. You can also pick up some Tesla, Elon, and investment themed merch in the merch store. If you want to take it to the next level, join thousands of members on Patreon to gain exclusive access to over 100 Q&A videos, loads of exclusive content, exclusive access to my up-to-date 10-year Tesla stock price targets, and even access my Tesla valuation model at the investor support level and above. So check out the links in the pinned comment below, and thanks for your support. And if you're still watching, you're awesome. I read every single comment on this channel and I really appreciate your feedback. So if you've got any thoughts on today's video, questions, comments, or suggestions for a new video, let me know in the comments below. Check the cards on screen now to browse the merch store, join Patreon, or watch the next video.